Utilizing social media to grow your podcast and get new subscribers. I love a social media strategy. I have grown the Sarah Fraser Show to a top trending TV and film podcast by using social media. I have picked up thousands and thousands of new downloads and listeners from creating social media videos. Social media can definitely seem overwhelming. Where do you start? Which platforms do you use? I tell everyone, pick 3 platforms on social media that you actually like and you actually enjoy scrolling through. So if you enjoy Pinterest, if you enjoy YouTube, if you enjoy Twitch, those are the places where you are going to be most likely to actually post and get excited about the engagement. And yes, I have seen people grow their audience from Pinterest. These social media platforms are great aggregates to get people back to downloading your show. For the Sarah Fraser Show, the 3 that I utilize are Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. People often say to me too, Sarah, I don't know I can't hire a video editor. How do I create these videos? I don't know how to edit them. Guys, I have gotten thousands of people checking out my show by simply holding up my phone and saying, have you heard about all the financial woes that Robin and Cody from the Sister Wives are going through? It's wild. And I have the full details up on the Sarah Fraser Show podcast right now. Click the link in my bio and go listen. Are Cody and Robin Brown from Sister Wives broke? Fans are speculating that they are broke as a joke after shopping at this discount store. If you want to hear it, it's up on the Sarah Fraser Show podcast right now. The podcast is up. Also, I'll tell you what Mykelti and Tony said that have fans believing that they are in financial ruins. FYI though, this podcast is a best of TSFS. This was one of my highest rated podcast episodes. So if you missed it, now is your chance to jump on and hear the rumors that were circulating in fall of 2024 about Robin and Cody, and even some that have persisted in current times. Enjoy. It's as simple as that. You do not need to have a high value, highly curated video strategy. If people are interested in the content and the content is catchy, they will go there. The other thing to remember is mix it up. You can one day be teasing, go listen to my podcast, and then the other day you can be giving your full opinion, because you are going to get commentary and backlash if you say to people, hey, I want you to go to this other platform. But to be honest with you guys, I don't care. And the sooner that you can get comfortable with people having opinions about you and your show, the better. In fact, I would even argue if you're not getting some backlash, what are we doing wrong? Let's dial up the backlash. It's true, because a lot of people are never going to take the steps to actually create a show. They're never going to be as brave as you. And lots of times these comments are even coming from bots and not even a real person. The stakes are so low for people commenting. So choose those platforms that you like, that you engage in, and just start by doing simple video without adding on the pressure of big edits. You can jump on trends. Song trends, dance trends. That's a great way to start engaging and having a new audience discover you. And as I mentioned with trends, if you're not into the dancing, if you're not into songs, pick a pop culture trend, a news story trend, true crime, a documentary trend that is out. That's a great way for you to be discovered. I have seen podcasters reach whole new audiences and gain thousands of listeners by jumping on a trend. And I'll give you an example of one. Teddi Mellencamp from 2 T's and a Pod podcast. She went to BravoCon in 2023, and she literally dropped a 15-minute podcast episode every hour, every 2 hours, updating people on what was happening at this nationally trending con. It was awesome. She got so much exposure. She made even more money and gained new long-term subscribers. It's just a win-win-win when you jump on some of these trends. I would also say, give it a beat. You're probably not going to go viral with your first video. I've been doing TikToks for a very long time, 3-4 years, and just finally got to 100,000 followers. It takes time. Don't get discouraged. Stay consistent with it and find those platforms that you really like. Now, what age ranges are on what social media platforms when you're thinking about which ones to pick? No scientific backing here, just my own research. But under 35, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, great places. For your audience 35, 55 and older, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, all great places to think about posting your content. A new feature on Instagram that has worked very well for me is the collaboration feature. This is when you take a video, usually with your guest, and you ask them to collab, which means that the video appears on your feed and theirs. Double the audience. If it starts getting traction, both of you now could be reaching thousands of new people as Instagram pushes you out. Let's also quickly talk about YouTube. In the past couple of years, there's been a big push to get podcasters to distribute their podcasts in video form on YouTube. I have very mixed feelings about this. I'm not a huge fan because most of the audience on YouTube is never going to come over and actually click your podcast episode. And as of now, you are going to make far more money if 10,000 people download your podcast than 10,000 people watch your podcast on YouTube. The money doesn't even begin to compare. And if you drop your audio and video podcast on the same day, that video audience is never coming over to the audio. My personal strategy is I drop the audio first, and then about a week later, I drop that episode on YouTube because YouTube is a great search engine. We're owned by Google. So if people are looking for information on the Jets, on a true crime story, on a political story, great place to go, and they could discover your show, but 10,000 people watching isn't going to make you near the money that 10,000 downloads would. You want to drive people to that podcast. So I use YouTube as a secondary place, as a place for just great brand awareness, great marketing, but it's not my moneymaker, and I do not drop the episode on the same day. The other thing too that I see podcasters do very successfully is they'll put a clip of their podcast up on YouTube, and then at the end say, hey, if you want to see the full video, you can go and listen, and they'll put the link to their podcast right in there. Okay, there's how you can use social media to grow your show.